and welcome to Ascension Assistant Program. Good evening to all of you joining from Sri Lanka, and hello to everybody who is joining from any other part of the world. So this is about advanced energy clearances, and we programmed it for Ascension Assistant Program, and you would get to see why we have given that name. Hello Chatura, how are you? Hello Pradeep, hello Anuradha. For other people are joining. So this program is different from other things that we do. Just out of curiosity, how is the video stream for all of you? Hello Pradeep. So just let me know whether the video stream is coming through to you well. Hello. Hi Apeksha. Hi Shamama. Something is going on with. Hi Anu. Hi Chaturanga. Okay, awesome. Awesome. My other screen shows weird things. So moving on, I can see it here. So I'm Gamakasri, if you are joining now. And I have to talk about how we got this teaching. So my teacher is Chinese Samatunga. Her teacher is Swami Shivananda Brahmananda, and this system that we are talking about, this healing mechanisms, all of it is passed on to Swami Shivananda Brahmananda by an ascended master. Ascended Master Babaji. You may or may not have heard of him. So I put a visual depiction of Ascended Master Babaji. So have a. So if you spend a few seconds staring into that picture, you would find a certain sense of calmness. Hello Samantha, how are you? Okay, my teacher has also joined. Hello Asita. So my teacher is now not known as Jaimini Samatunga. At the time I was learning from her, she was Jaimini Samatunga. Now she's Jayasri Mata. So most of you might know her by that name now. So Swami Shivananda Brahmananda, this is my teacher's teacher. He received this system as a direct Shaktipat from the Ascended Master Babaji, and the codes. So he received the commands and the codes, the scalar codes, sacred scalar codes that we use in this term. This system was handed down to Swami Amenai. So. By Babaji again. So we make use of the scalar codes handed down to Swami Amenai and the commands handed down to Swami Shivananda Brahmananda, and my teacher Jaimini Samartham now, Jayasri Mata, got direct initiation from Swami Shivananda Brahmananda. So if you stared into the Ascended Master Babaji with soft eyes, just put your comments. How did you feel? What sort of sensations you are receiving from him? In my case, of course, I get the calmness and serenity. So I'd like to hear what is your experience. So my teacher, why did she learn this technology? Because at the time she learned this technology, she was a well accomplished healer, coach, trainer at that time. Okay, direction. Okay, very good. So my teacher at the time she learned this technology. She was a well accomplished trainer, has a good reputation in Sri Lanka about her work, and Still, she found that her clients would go through a tremendous breakthrough, figure out they can do their business, their coaching, their families would come together, establish better relationships, make good progress on their career, have a balanced life. And still, they felt they were missing something, and they were saying, okay, we are missing something in our life, we are missing a certain level of fulfillment. So that one aspect of the story where my teacher went into meditation to find out what can we do about this. And the other aspect is once one of the clients that one of the good clients was given the direction to go through a session on karma clearance to clear out some of her past karma so that she can move on in with her life. And that student was wondering where can I get this service, and eventually she came to my teacher, Jayasri Mata, worshipped on her feet and asked, "Can you please help me and clear my karma?" So then Jayasri Mata performed a certain set of activities to clear the karma, but then she decided, okay, this is something I would want to learn, so I'm going to go ahead and learn this. So this is where she made the decision, and immediately the connections were made. She found the correct teacher. So I'm going back to the previous slide to show the Ascended Master and the names of the teachers. So Ascended Master Babaji, and then his embodiments here, the Swami Shivananda Brahmananda and Swami Vinay, who received the Shaktipat and the sacred codes that we use. So that's why my teacher learned it, and that knowledge is fully transferred to me now. So I'll be performing these services on behalf of the lineage of teachers going up to Ascended Master Babaji. So additional question would be, who would be making use of this? Because we have Reiki, which helps people to rebalance. We have NLP, we have applied psychology, so that helps you to focus your mind and achieve results. So, who this is for? Who's the target audience? So, this is for people who are serious about their being, their life, who decided, I want to know my purpose, I want to live my purpose, I want to embody my purpose. So these are the people who are looking for enlightenment. These are the people, these are the true light workers of the world, that wants to be part of the human ascension. They want to be part of the ascension of the earth, the mother earth. They want to ascend themselves so that they can be part of that. So it doesn't mean these healings doesn't have benefits in 3D world. There are definite benefits on the 3D world, but the main intention is not to affect the 3D world. It's rather to facilitate the ascension of human beings as a race. So you will learn more about it when we go further into this presentation. So in this Ascension Assisted program, we cover 4 aspects, or 4 kinds of healings or clearances and activation. So the clearance of aura, clearance of karmic imprints, removal of the seals, especially J seal and other seals, and activation of your energetic DNA. So 4 types. So let's have a look at them one at a time. Aura clearance. So we did do a session sometime back, maybe 2 weeks back. It should be available, but I'll go through this so that your session is complete. So aura is part of our body. So this is part of our body. This is part of our energetic being. Chandra has shared in his wall, and so anybody would be able to see it from there. Thank you, Chandra. So energy flows. So when we meet a person, we think my body ends from this place and the other person's body ends on their physical boundaries. That is not true. That is not the case. We have a rather large energetic body that emanates and goes in and comes out of our body. So when the energy moves inside of our body, we call it chakra. So that is a word that a lot of people are familiar with. People know about chakras, and the image in the presentation you see the chakras. So we have marked the seven major chakras. There are a lot more minor and mini and micro chakras, but the seven major chakras, a lot of people are familiar with it. And just like that, our body outside, energetic body outside of our body has seven layers. So the layer closest to it is etheric layer. So this is connected to the base chakra, and then your emotional body is there, and your mental body is just outside. Your astral body is just outside. So take a note of this astral body, because in aura clearance, what we clear is actually the things that get into this astral plane and then get stuck there. So etheric template body, celestial body, and catheric template or catheric body. So when we if we sit next to somebody else, we are actually sitting in each other's bodies. It's just that we don't feel it because they are so light. So these are light aspects. However, there are people who can see, feel, sense, smell these bodies. So the colors we talk about, oh, this person's aura is this color. So these are things that some people who have heightened senses can see. And one aspect of this training is for you to become one of those people, one such person in the long run, to awaken your higher senses. So what happens with the aura over the time? Depending on the way that you were living, aura can attract different entities, and also they can go through different damages. So if you look at the first type, the occupant is the entity that will get into your aura to the astral body, but this entity does not have a soul, but it would act as if it is live. It would try to take over your body, and it would try to make you behave in certain ways. Maybe you would respond to a certain situation with confusion. Maybe you would respond to a situation with rage. So occupant take over your body and make you behave in certain ways. How would you know that? Is in a later time you would think, "Oh, why did I behave like that? That is not me." So that is because some other entity managed to take over. So discarnates, unlike occupants, are a different entity that has a soul. So these are the living beings that passed away, but they got into your auric field and they're feeding off you. So they would have a karmic relationship to you. They would think that you have wronged, and then they would act in a way that you would be harmed. Uh, so some of the self-sabotage patterns comes from the discarnates, and also when we try to do a healing, or when we try to do clearances of your aura, discarnates would actively try to block it because they don't want you to get better. So clearing discarnates require not only cleaning the damage that they have done, but also working with them to send them out of your system and send them to the next plane of existence, whatever that is. Portals and wormholes are damages to your body. So portal is a damage where your energy goes out, so you feel drained, and wormhole is actually a connection that is made from your auric field to a different dimension where maybe a different entity is feeding off from your body. So either case, you feel quite tired. So quite a few people are joining. Welcome. Hello, Jeev. How are you doing? So, end result of all this is they cause emotional, mental, and spiritual blockages to evolution. You would keep in a this stuck place. You would be in the same situation, chained to whatever the reality that you are living now, and unable to move on and build a different life for you. So how do we know all this information? So it is because of the clairvoyancy of advanced clairvoyance advancements on people, and that is not really a very special skill if you come to think of it. You actually build your angelic DNA template. The embodiment of you is actually built with these abilities. However, most of you are unable to access that. You're unable to access that skill, being able to see these auric colors, the sense aura, or even traverse through somebody's aura to see whether damages are there. You are not able to do it because your aura, your energetic body is quite damaged, and what we are talking about here is how to recover from that. So clairvoyants can see these aura and auric attachment, and also the auric clearance practitioners get a set of tools coming from Ascended Master Babaji to detect and also cleanse these attachments. This information is not only true for aura clearance; it is true for karma clearance, chassis removal, and DNA activation. So, how would you know whether something is there on your aura? So, if you get irritated, agitated, or like if you have these moments of rage, yes, this is a act of occupant, probably, maybe helped by a discarnate. So, if you have a low energy, lack of feel lazy, so this is again uh, an occupant, and it could be supported by a portal where your energy is draining out. You can't focus on things for more than 5 minutes. You have attracted a discarnate who is trying to destroy your being. You're fearful, constantly worrying about the future, and unable to move, live in present. This is a discarnate at work. A lot of inner conflicts, a lot of voices in your head, discarnates. You are taking drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes. So this is actually an attempt to feel less of this damage, this auric clearance damage. You're trying to feel less of that. However, what drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes does is it reduces your personal power, and it gives discarnates and also the occupants more ability to take over you. And so that's why you see some people get even more raged when they're under influence of narcotics and drugs, or cry, so whatever the way that is. You lose sensitivity, so this is one of the reasons that people can't sense the energy, they don't feel it, they can't see these subtle energies, so you lose ability to see them, become overweight, overeat. If you are around some people, you would lose energy, you would drain out. This is a portal or a wormhole at play. No motivation, you are tired of your life, so that is discarnate at play. So energy clearances, the karmic and auric energy clearances specifically, they have multiple criteria that they need to meet. First one is it is done in the best way possible. Hello, Dr. Kushan, how are you? My aunt is also here. So it is done in the best way possible. So there's no forcing of healing. So in other words, what it says is the highest priority. The highest priority issues will be cleared, and that is also done in line with your highest expression of mind. We call it higher self. This is the highest expression of your being or highest expression of your mind. So all the clearances are done in the highest, in line with your higher self, and also in alignment with the universal laws. So, which means that the practitioner and the person who is going through the clearance, the client, will not get additional karma created for them. So when the clearance is done, it's over. So these are very important aspects that you might want to remember, and this applies very specifically for aura clearance and also the karmic imprint clearance. So as I said, auric clearance sessions, the highest priority auric attachments are cleared. So in a usual program, we would recommend clients to go through 2 sessions so that most of the auric attachments that affects them are cleared that way. However, the, based on the way you would live, you might start to create new attachments. So all the attachments that you had, they will be gone. So we would highly recommend getting into a mindfulness practice and pay attention to the way you speak, way you think, way you act, so that just as to ensure that there won't be no new aura attachments getting into your way, and also no new karma created for you. So what happens after aura clearance? Depending on the kind of attachments you had, most of the time you feel more energetic and more vitality. So the entities that was draining your energy, entities that was eating into your energy, they're gone. So you're going to feel more vital, more exuberant, and in the childhood state of wonder, because there's all the issues that is all the other entities that was using you to make their statements, now they're gone, so you can be you uh, most of the time. So higher frequency people and situations would start get attracted to you, and this is common for most of the clearances that we do, and you'll be able to express your love much more freely, and you can actually be loving. So moving on, the next clearance is karmic imprint clearance. So we usually call it karma clearance, but the technical name is karmic imprint clearance. So we'll see why. And by the way, if you have any questions on what we have covered so far, just put it on the chat. I'm accessing the chat on another device so I can see your questions, and then I'll be able to answer you. Hello, Dhamika. So, how do you know you have a karmic imprint? Very easy. If you have an emotional response, an emotional reaction to anything in life, you have a karmic imprint to that aspect of your life. And how karmic imprints comes to be is if you go into it, karmic imprints get created in moments where your mind stops. Like it could be a shocking moment where your mind stops, and part of your energetic body, let's call it the soul energy, fractures, and it creates damage in your energy body. It creates a damage in your energy body, and also it creates either a decision or attitude or a promise or a vow inside of you. So this distorted energy body, what it does is it starts attracting kind of situations uh, that you would tend to see as frustrating, annoying, respond with anger, and that behavior comes from this decision or the attitude or the promise that you made to yourself. I'm not going to be one of those people. Uh, it could be that you would keep attracting romantic partners who try to dominate you. How that is. You have sense of I don't want to be treated like that. I don't want to be talked to like that. So that is a attitude, and other aspect of that is your distortion of your energetic body is such that those are the people get magnetized towards you, and those are the people you continue to fall for. So karmic imprint is a two-part aspect. One, you have a personal being behavior that is either a decision or an attitude or a promise, and also damage to your energetic body that would attract situations, people, and places that you actively resist with your promise or your decision or your attitude. So it's quite a hard situation, and if you look at people's lives, you see this in play. They continue to keep running through these kind of suffering loops, never-ending suffering loops, and a lot of people think they can pay it off. It would go away after a while. It doesn't happen like that. Unless you learn how to break this pattern, it doesn't just go away. You need to consciously break the pattern, or you need to get help from professionals to break this. Okay, so let's look at some of the imprints that are common to pretty much everybody. Unworthiness. Unworthiness is thinking that I am not enough. I am not enough. I am unable to do it. Uh, very recently, a situation that happened, uh, something that I felt was very easy for the other person. They said, no, 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 I need to get professional help because I'm not able to do it. I'm not good enough to do this on my own. I don't think I'm competent to do this. I don't think I'll be able to learn, figure this out. I'm not that intelligent. So that is unworthiness. Unworthiness can crop up for money, it could crop up for relationships, it can crop up for new education. I'm not good enough to do my MBA or DBA or PhD. Or it could be A levels and O levels also. You can be unworthy for them. So undeservedness sounds a lot like unworthiness, but it's a different aspect related to poverty consciousness. So what unworthiness does is it keeps you away from that you can have, but you think you can't have, so you can't. It doesn't manifest in your life. Poverty consciousness says that you would believe there's less of it. Okay, there's less money, so I need to go and grab everything. There's less food, so I need to hoard all the food and keep food available for me and my family for 6 months. There is not enough space, so I need to buy a lot of lands and build houses. So I have met people who has like continued to build houses and own 4 houses, but doesn't have all their children to give away those houses. But this is poverty consciousness, thinking that there's very less outside, and one needs to go and fight and grab all these things for themselves just to survive, just to survive. Female image complex. So here's an interesting question. Uh, do you know a religion that says men and women are equal? Or do you know a religion that says women are inferior to men? What do you think? What is your experience? I'm talking about all the religions in general. What is your experience? So female image complex stems from the place where pretty much all the religion says females are an inferior aspect of humans. And then what happened was females had to start fighting this for the existence. The female uh, children when they're born are killed, and if they manage to get older, like they have to get married early so that parents can get out of it. If they are not attractive enough, uh, they would not find a way to by all means to live. So you would think that this problem is solved now, because if you look at the present day society, you would see yes, women work, they have their own earning capacities, but this is thousands and thousands years of injustice done on women. Women were burnt at stake because they were competent, and then they thought, okay, how can a woman be competent? She must be a witch. She may be damaging us. So, so there's a lot of damage done to females. So that damage exists not only on the female consciousness but also in the male consciousness, because males never stepped up and correct this wrong. So female image complex is a devastating karmic imprint that is affected by both sexes. Victimization is the lack of personal power. So in the case of victimization karmic imprint, one thinks that others are doing wrong to them. So the guilt karmic imprint goes hand in hand with that. So in the guilt karmic imprint, they would think I am doing wrong to other people. So when the victim says that, okay, you did this to me, and the victor, then the person with guilt imprint would go into the bad place and say, oh my god, I'm so bad. You can see this, like, if you don't have to see teledramas for this. Like, just watch news or just watch talk shows, and you can see this in a beautiful play. Hello, Chandima. How are you? So other three patterns. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you look at this, you would think that these are normal human behaviors. They're not normal human behaviors. The humans, by their birth, are supposed to be excellent. They're supposed to be amazing. But the millennia of living and damages have put us in a way that we think we are not good enough for certain things. We think that there's less, so we have to fight and grab everything that is possible. And we have treated the female so badly that it has damaged both sexes. We tend to put the guilt on other people. This is the all fault of our politicians and the police and the railway system. And also, then in turn, we also feel guilty about whatever is happening to other people. So, hello, Chanaka. So, other theory, codependency, income taxes, and personas, they have their own slides. So, let's have a look. So 21 attitudes of codependency. I'm not going to read through all of them and explain all of them to you, but if you take the first one, I make you responsible for my happiness. So nobody says that. Nobody says that. Nobody says that I make you responsible for my happiness. What they say is, you are making me unhappy. What you do is making me unhappy. So this would also be somewhere. The how can I go on road with you? Look how shabbily you are. The way you look affects how I think about myself. So codependency is all about how we lose personal power and give all the personal power to somebody else's clothes, or somebody else's car, or how somebody else's behave. So no personal power on my side, and all, like, I'm a puppet of somebody else's shirt. So that sounds bad, but that is real. That is real. And people think that is a normal human interaction. No, it is not. We are more accepting. We are meant to have more personal power, but we are not living that because of these karmic imprints. These are karmic imprints. These things need to go for you to have a much better life. My mental attention focuses on pleasing you. My mental attention focuses on protecting you. Yes, you need to protect young children till they are up to a certain age, but you would notice that people are protecting their old children. Like, maybe your child is 40 and you are 70 and you still try to protect them. So no. At that point, you are no longer protecting them. You are just, putting their protection. You are just doing your codependency karmic execution. So 21. So that's the rest of it. My social circle diminishes as I involve myself with you. My fear of rejection is determined by what I say and do. The dream I have for the futures are linked with you. Yes, I think I recently worked with 2 clients just on this. Okay, so this is already recorded. I will give you a little bit more time if you are reading this. But if you couldn't read it, don't worry. You can always come back to the recorded video. We'll have it on the Facebook page for a while, so you can have a look. Oh, if you're looking at the replay, you can always pause and read this. It complexes. So it complexes. You have more than one pattern at play. So these are fun to talk about, but extremely painful to live. So heal a victim. That's a lot more, but I restricted this to two, and but I'll talk to you about one. So healer victim pattern is that you would want to heal somebody else's circumstances. So say somebody needs some money to do their business. So you give them the money. So now you heal their social situation or the financial situation, and later you would realize that they have earned the money back. So they might probably have paid you, but when they're talking about their success, so they would go to TV and talk about it, and they never mention you. They totally forget how you help them out of this bad place. And then you would go to victim mode. Oh my God, how they ignore me like that. I was so essential for their success. So this is the healer victim pattern. So the case I gave you was extreme, but you would start seeing that in your life. I did so many things for you, and how dare you ignore me? Expectation, disappointment, blame, quite self-explanatory. You expect something. Okay, if you're not suffering from healer victim pattern, how one would behave? How one would behave? So have a go at it. Tell me your answer instead of getting victim. Expectation, disappointment, blame pattern. What happens here is you would have expectation from something or someone. You would expect that your mango tree would give fruit till maybe June, maybe July, and it stopped on April. Or a person, you would expect somebody to come and pick you or buy you a certain thing, and it doesn't happen. So then we have the disappointment and then the blame. How dare you do that? So if you're not suffering, again, if you're not suffering from this, if somebody is not suffering from this, uh, how should it be? What should be the behavior if you have expectation, and if expectation is not met, what should be the behavior? What could be the, like, okay, if I say what should be, it means that there's only one right behavior. There's more than one right behavior. So what could be some of the good behaviors person would have? An empowered person would have. Person who is fully embodiment of the angelic DNA template would have. You can have a go at it. So later in the day, I will like to comment what you have entered. Personas. So your personas comes from your shadow self, the self that is hidden. You don't show that a lot, but they come out as behavior. So here are some of the personas. Again, I'm not going to talk to you about all of them. Just want to present them to you. However, people who are joining the program, I'll be sending out a handout so that they can familiar with all these aspects before they go through the healing sessions. So righteous virgin is a person who sees the truth. They know what is the truth. They know that some damages are happening around them. How behaviors of them or somebody else is causing harm. However, they would depend on somebody else's opinion about it instead of having their own opinion. They know the truth, but ignore their own version of the truth and go with somebody else's version of the truth. So righteous virgin or ultimate innocent. They don't have their own version of truth, and I'm not responsible for anything because I don't know the ultimate innocent. Professional victim. So these are very interesting names. Professional victim. I didn't put them there; they came with the program. So professional victim is a victim for everything. So everything that happened in their life, they are not liable. They are not responsible. Somebody else out there is responsible for everything that is happening to them. And a person who has both of them, they would be terrorized and they will be terrorizing. So they are the terrorists. Perennial martyr would be making use of guilt devices to get other people to do their bidding. Or the next one is fun, absolute perfectionist. So what does absolute perfectionist do? They do nothing. They literally do nothing because they wait for the perfect moment. They wait till everything is perfectly aligned. Absolute perfectionist. So yeah, you have wizard, obsessive perfectionist, another type, greater or lesser tyrant, the people who are trying to take certain degree of control, or they need to have certain degree of control of other people. the Liberator. So yeah, so I'm not going to talk about all of them as I said, but I'll be sharing that information with anybody who is joining for the uh, clearance sessions. So what happens in a karmic imprint clearance sessions, just like in the auric session, the clearance will be done for the highest priority karmic imprints based on the alignment with your higher self and aligned to the laws of God, universal laws. So no additional karma is created for either of us. And also, just like aura clearance, when you clear the karmic imprints, they are gone. However, based on the way you live, based on the way you respond to life, you might start creating new ones. So here again, we would say do mindfulness living, do journals, pay attention to the kind of things that you say, do, and think, so that you can continue to have better life. So hopefully you can still hear me. I'm not seeing very many comments, but hopefully you can hear me well. So common experience after karmic imprint, when you let go of all this bondage, you're going to feel really happy and a lot of inner peace. So that is one of the main things you would notice. You would feel the clarity and you feel free, and the messy negative behaviors that you had, they'll be gone. Uh, you would notice that. So with that, you're free to express and attract love. You can, the stuff that was blocking you with the forward motion, that is gone, so you can have a pretty good forward motion. Forward belief systems are gone. The vows and the contracts and agreements you made with these other aspects, other people, other situations, they are gone. So now you can have a much better life. uh, and you can start accessing high levels of consciousness and demonstrate a high level of awareness and also the acceptance of the situation. So if you were trying to answer some of the previous questions I asked, so the answer key is here. So yeah, uh, acceptance. And another aspect of this is some of the unconscious programming that you had, the beliefs and all, they would go through a transformation. Okay, so what we talked about so far are actually things that happen in 3D, and they happen in this 3D existence. And they are also some, you are somewhat liable co-creation of those issues, the auric attachments and also the karmic attachments. Auric attachments come through to you because you were behaving in a certain way. Now, JC removal is different from all that, because JC removal is the third type of healing that we provide. You get them not because you behaved in a certain way, rather because uh, our first mother, the Mother Earth, has a disruption in her energy field. So, moment you were born as a human, you inherit them. So, all the humans are affected in whatever the way you live and whatever the spirituality you maintain, whatever the meditations that you do, you are affected by these seals. These seals, because you personally have nothing to do with the existence of this damage. It is something you inherit by the mere fact that you were born in Earth. So there are a lot. So explanation of how these damages came to the Mother Earth's energy grid. The explanation that is handed down to us by our teachers is that these damages are done by the other races, other than humans, who have ascended to a certain degree, but behaved in ways that they are fallen now. So they can't proceed anymore. They are stuck in a certain higher realm, and this damage helps them to suck our energies and uh, continue their existence, even though they can't, as in they can continue their existence. But the problem is with that, we are stuck. The human race is stuck and unable to evolve. So that's why it is very important we get rid of these seals. So what goes away with this session, these healing sessions are 7 J seals. So the 7 J seals are in the different parts of left side of your body: Metatronic implant, Templar seal and Temple axiom seal, cell death programs, Crown of Thrones, Zeta seal, and the Tower of Babel seal. So each of them have somewhat of a fun story, which again I will be sharing with the people who go through this healing process. But what is more important is that you need to clear them so that you can have the opportunity to ascend. And again, these seals got into your system not because of any of your fault. They got into your system because you were born as a human on the Mother Earth's energy grid. So unlike karmic and auric clearance, since these seals has nothing to do with your behaviors, you don't get them back. Unless you reincarnate, you don't get them back. So for a lifetime, you need to do it only once. Okay, so what happens when you do the J-seal removal is you become able to access part of your mind that right now you rarely access. Oh, you don't access at all. The part of your mind that gives you guidance, part of your mind that gives you intuition, part of mind that gives you higher states such as bliss. Just out of curiosity, has anybody here experienced bliss and unconditional love? So only people who hasn't gone through J-seal removal can answer. So let me know whether you have actually experienced the state of bliss in your life. So these are some of the things that you become able to access when you have gone through J-seal removal session, and it's only one time. Right. The fourth activation. So this is not a clearance. So we are not clearing anything. So all the clearances are done. All the stuff that you managed to accumulate so far in your living and in your past lives is cleared from oral clearance and karmic clearance, and everything that you inherited just because you were born in this realm in Mother Earth is cleared by J-seal removal. And now what we are talking about is an entirely different aspect of your being. We are not talking about clearing, we are talking about activating some of the dormant capabilities and abilities of yourself. So basically, your higher self, your highest expression of your mind, knows why you are here, what you're capable of, what you can have, and what is your gift to the world, what is your gift to yourself. And right now, you probably is not expressing any of that, probably not making use of any of your gifts, and probably trying to make a living in the 3D, trying to survive in the 3D. So what DNA activation or activation of energetic DNA does is it helps you to embody your higher self in the 3D. You'll be able to live in the 3D with your higher self, always giving guidance and direction. So, what are the 12 strands? So, physical DNA has 2 strands. We are talking about energetic DNA, energetic potentials of you. So, 12 strands. So, here we talk about 12 strands. So, first strand, courage to move ahead and integrate our fears. Second strand, ability to focus on something and follow it to completion. Third strand, maintaining gender balance between male female power. Males and females both express has the ability to express male female power differently. Uh, and then just because you belong to one gender doesn't mean you cannot express the other power, and one will have to balance it, uh, use it in the proper proportions. So your ability to do that. Balance between our energy field and the physical body. So most of the time, right now, everybody's, yes, anybody who hasn't gone through these kind of clearances, they would be trying living on their physical body without even knowing what is going on in their energetic body. Your ability to balance that, living in a peaceful state of acceptance, strength to stand on one's truth regardless of your outcome. So this is very interesting. So I really would like to know, are you one of those people? Do you know your truth? Are you able to stand in your truth, whatever that would happen? Would you give up your truth if it is not beneficial for you? Are you willing to adopt somebody else's truth? Ability to accept both dark and light side, or would you like to pretend you don't have a dark side at all? Ability to hold personal boundaries regardless of the outcomes. Ability to accept and live living in a diverse community. Well, if Facebook is any guidance to us, for most of the Sri Lankans, answer is a resounding no for this. But what about you? Where do you stand? Ability to tune in and listen to one's soul and higher self. So when you go higher up in the strands, you start seeing very interesting energetic aspects. Power to envision, create and manifest these visions in 3D. Ability to accept, kind, be accepting, kind, and appreciate the value of all things. It's very interesting. It's not value of all humans. No, it's not value of all humans. It's value of all things. Can you appreciate the value of all things? So that is the 12th strand. So what we do is we activate them. So we activate, we clear it up, and then activate all 12 strands. And we usually do it in 2 sittings. It's a single session. You need to do it only once. But we'll take 2 sittings to activate 6 strands first, and then 6 strands in the next sitting. So, what would happen when you have gone through this DNA activation? You'll be able to fully embody your mission. You're going to feel as if you are reborn. You're going to feel that, yes, I know what I'm here to do. You would know your soul's mission. What is it that you need to embody? And you would also start attracting people, events, things, just to support that. You would know that you are not alone. You are not alone. Even right now, you are not alone. But most of the time, people will stay in this place that they feel they are alone. Greater genius to accomplish things you want the most. Start having strong intuitions on what you do, what you need to do. So this part of this embodiment of your soul mission. Your ability to focus on things and concentrate on the facts, numbers, even what is happening, even other living things, it becomes very, very intense. Ability to rejuvenate your body and letting go of all the repressed and unresolved emotions. This anger that we store against somebody, it doesn't really affect that other person. The frustration you carry about the other person, it doesn't affect the other person. The grudge that you're holding about against somebody, it doesn't affect them. It affects you. It deteriorates your muscle. It affects your mind. The kind of your ability to think that I need to have a better life is damaged by those kind of thoughts. Okay, so packages and offers. We plan to offer a very special rate till the end of May. So if you are watching this, I will provide that information to you and how to make use of that opportunity. So what we do is we offer this in two parts. Program one has 4 sessions. So there is two auric clearance sessions and two karmic clearance sessions. And what happened with these sessions is a lot of issues that you face in 3D start to get cleared. Again, I would emphasize they clear the highest priority auric issues and highest priority karmic issues. So this is program number one. And after that, you can enroll program number two. That is 2 sessions, but 3 sittings. So first session is just a removal to get rid of these seals that were placed on your body just because you were born on the earth with, and then to clear up and activate your energetic DNA and become that person who knows why they are here, and become that person who can do them, because it seemingly look like whole world wants you to succeed and whole world is willing to help you to succeed. So if you want to become that person, yes, this that program. However, to get to program two, you need to finish program one, and you can talk about it. You can talk to us via the call or WhatsApp, or even reach out to us on our Facebook page, Healing Sri Lanka, our internet page, www.healingsrilanka.com. So the offer is that we would offer 50% off on program one, that is 4 sessions, till 31st of May. So if you want this till 31st of May, you when you talk to us, remember to tell us this code, AC May 2020, and then you'll be eligible to get this offer. Right. So again, I'm Gamakasri Pereira. So if you want to get to know more about these services, you have the number here. It's 070809815. I'm available on WhatsApp, so you can chat to me or give a call, either WhatsApp or like we will chain whole call. And if you have any questions, if you want me to clarify something further, you can ask it now. I can stay back for a few minutes to answer that. So let's see. Chanaka has joined. Dinusha has joined. Hi Dinusha. Hi Chanaka. So again, catching back, we talked about four clearances that are available. So these are for people who are interested on embodying their soul purpose, who believes that they need to ascend and become a different person, become a person who lives their life purpose, who lives what they're here to live and do, and they become a person who is willing to go through that transition and see that whole world wants them to succeed. Whole world is willing to lend them a hand to achieve those results. Hello Jessica, how are you? Alright, if you don't have questions for me, we can end the transmission here. I hope you had an educative session, you liked it. Please leave your comments, and to make use of the offer, make use of this offer, give us a call before 31st May, and after that, of course, the offer expires and everything would be on a regular price. Okay, thank you. Have an awesome time wherever you are. Take care. May the Triple Gem bless you.